Wow, it's been some time since I've done this. Let me just set this up. I'm not going to edit any of this shit because I cannot be bothered to do that. Hi, guys. It's been a while. I think it's been almost a month, if not a month, by the time this comes out. Some of you might be wondering where the hell I've been. A lot of people probably haven't because they haven't noticed. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not taking that personal. So, this is an episode, I guess, of Sit and Reflect, which, if you're not familiar with Sit and Reflect, is we take a topic or a question of some sort, something open-ended that we can then explore, right? We can explore it, different perspectives, opinions, and just encourage intellectual curiosity, being open-minded, etc. I don't have a topic to talk about. And the last video that I uploaded, I think I talked about just my life story a little bit, just the shit that I've been through and how I've gotten to this point. And I'm not going to build off that, but I don't have a topic. I'm kind of sick of making content. Like, I don't really enjoy it anymore. And I'm kind of using this as like a bit of an exposure therapy kind of video that people will be able to watch, leave their input for, etc. But yeah, I guess let's address that elephant in the room that I just said. Yeah, I don't really enjoy content anymore. I've grown very, what's the opposite of fond of making videos nowadays? And I've talked about this with some of my friends, and I have a couple of reasons on why I think this. And I guess I'll talk about them. It's the whole point of the video. So a lot of you guys probably came from my TikTok account called Zan Likes Yapping, which is also the same name as my YouTube channel. So if you haven't come from my TikTok channel, this is your first time watching me, or you just found me some other way somehow. Basically, what I do on TikTok is very similar to what I do on this channel, just a lot shorter form. And those things, those not those things, but those videos are more in the moment introspection, just things that I think of throughout my day that I'll then just record and post. And the channel is set up that way by design. The entire point of why I started making videos in the first place was to track my progress as I just learn and grow as an individual. I usually, when you see people try to document their progress, they're told to journal and write shit out. I hate that because my hand gets tired, and I'm a lefty, so I just get marked up, man, and it's just not a fun experience. So you know what? Fuck it, I'm just record. I'm gonna record, and this is also a chance for me to, I guess you could say, work on my public speaking as well. Even though public speaking has never been a problem for me, I've always been able to do very well when it comes to engaging with the public or giving speeches, monologues, whatever. But no one's ever perfect. So let's just polish up our skills and what we got going on. And I've probably made around 1,000+ videos at this point. And out of the 1,000 videos, I've made maybe 10 to 20 videos that have mentioned relationships or marriage at some point. And those are the only videos that have done well. Like, if you go on my TikTok page and you sort by the most popular, it's all related to that. To the point that I've accumulated a following somewhat, but they follow me for that specific reason, because they think I talk about relationships and marriage. And when those videos blew up, I got a lot of DMs, like hundreds of DMs. People just asking me for their opinion on their relationship, situationship, looking for validation of a certain situation. I and at the time it was like, okay, cool. I mean, it makes sense. That's kind of the videos I make, or that's the videos that they've seen, not the videos I make. But those are the videos they've seen. But surely to a time this will fizzle out, especially as my other stuff starts to do well now too, considering the following that I have. And that's not what happened. Instead, I've had the opposite, where it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Some people are like, I follow you for marriage and relationship content. Where's that at? And I'll get unfollowed. Or on the other hand, it's like, bro, you make great videos, but stop talking about marriage. And it's like now I'm at this double-edged sword, and it feels like I'm at the mercy of the public, which is not why I started making videos in the first place. I didn't start making content. First of all, I didn't have it with the goal of becoming a quote unquote content creator. I still don't call myself that. I don't even like telling people that I make videos. Like sometimes there'll be story times that I'll tell my friends in real life. And sometimes it'll be tied to a video. And I'm always just like, bro, I hate bringing this shit up, but it's this video I made, right? And it relates to this. I just hate talking about that stuff because I don't look at myself in that way. But it's funny now that the videos now when I get in front of a camera and I record videos, I feel like I am at mercy to that. I'm at mercy to the algorithm, to the metrics, to the views, to the followers. And I completely lost sight of the fact that the reason why I did this was simply just to document my journey, nothing more, nothing less. And whatever comes out of that is just a byproduct of me being myself, me being authentic. But like I said, that's just not how it's panned out to be. Even for the most part, any partnerships or collaborations I've done, it's been from, and I think, and that's on me for accepting them, I'm not gonna lie. But I did need the money at the time, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest. I'm a broke college kid. I'll take the money. Partnerships with marriage apps and matrimonial services and blah blah did not help my case at all. But nonetheless, it is what it is. So the vast majority of my following is following me for things that I don't even talk about. And as a result, the things that I actually do want to talk about, like if I do want to lean into my creative side more, or I do want to lean into the things that I think are a lot more reflective of who I am as a person, people don't give a fuck. And I know I said in the beginning that I didn't set out to have people care about it. It was just simply just to be able to look back on. Now it does affect me. And I hate that it does. I hate the fact that I'm sitting here trying to play the game and studying other people's way of content and the style and how they speak and blah blah blah. I don't want this to be a profession. I don't want this to consume my life. I just want to have fun with it. I want to have fun with it. I want to have full autonomy, full creative control over the things that I make. I'm not bounded by any social contract or literal contract. I get in front of the camera and I yap. That's it. Point blank period. That's what I do. And I've lost sight of that in a lot of ways. So now when I start making videos, I think I started making them late September, early October. So since then, I've really just grown to hate this space. It hasn't been all bad, right? Because I met some amazing people through making content. It's people that I'll probably call friends forever. And people that have given me different perspectives and have allowed me to grow. So that hasn't been all bad. Which I guess kind of leads into the other thing is that I can look back on my life from a year ago when I started making videos, almost a year ago, to where I am now. And there are certain aspects of my life where I am objectively better off. But at the same time, there are certain parts of my life that I have been trying to improve on. Oh my gosh. Wait, I'll be back. All right. Anyways, there are other facets of my life that I've been trying to improve on for years. Before content, any of this other shit came into the picture, where I've made zero progress. Zero. And there have been signs of life, but the result has always been the same. And I don't believe that the results are reflective of, one, my effort, and two, my intellect. But at the same time, if my mind goes to if I were doing enough, or if I was actually smart enough to handle this, then I would have something to show for it. But I don't. I have nothing to show for it. That I'll get right up to that point. Think the Knicks game just happened. The Knicks and Spurs game 3 just happened. Game 4 just happened. Like, I feel like Jalen Brunson pulling that bitch from 30. She looks good. Hit front rim. The only difference is I don't have an Anunoby to come and tip that ball in for me. I feel like De'Aaron Fox I put that bitch up. Nah, that's a terrible analogy. I try to relate this to sports. I'm just gonna talk. Just forget I said that. I'm not editing that out. I'm not editing this video. I just feel like a loser. Simply put, I feel like a loser. And the whole content space hasn't helped that. If anything, I feel like it's reinforced it. And honestly, now that I'm thinking through it and that I'm talking about this out loud, I wonder if my anger, my frustration, my hatred is even towards content, or if it's just towards my life in general. Because like I just said, I don't feel like my effort and my intellect represent the lack of results that I'm getting. I feel like I'm fully capable of being in these spaces that I've been so close to getting into. But then at the same time, like if I was, then I would have something, right? I'd have things to show for it. And I don't know, I get on my platform and I talk about self-confidence, self-perception, not worrying about it, not thinking about it, not doing any of that shit. Just getting out, experiencing life, fucking up, making mistakes because that's where learning comes from. And detaching from outcomes. I talk about this pretty frequently. I feel like a hypocrite because it's not something that I am practicing very well, that I've never been able to practice well. I think that also kind of plays a part into it. That I get on here and I talk about shit that I myself can't even do. It's crazy to think about how these few parts of my life are clouding anything good that I actually may or may not have going for me. And this is going to sound like self-pity, but it's not. I find it difficult to even see what good is going on. I wrote a writing piece that kind of pertains to the things that I'm talking about right now. If you don't know, I have a writing page on TikTok as well. It's called Zan Like Writing. Wow. Such an innovative name, right? Where I feel like my life isn't meant for me to reach crazy wealth, fame, status, any of that shit that I feel like a lot of people chase, a lot of people want to pursue, want to achieve. I feel like I'm just here as a vessel, here as a lesson for other people, where they can learn from my experiences and then reach those levels that I wasn't able to. And you might wonder how that's possible because I haven't reached there. And it's not that I haven't reached it because of lack of skill. I think it's because of a lack of circumstance. That I think I have the raw intelligence and the grit to summit the top of the mountain. But it's just that life, but it's just that, like, let's say there was a summit instructor and they were assigning different trails to get to the top of the mountain. He sent me on the hardest trail, sent everybody else on the other trail. People are already summiting, they're getting to the top. I'm almost there, I'm getting there. But this harder trail has a bunch of stones, rocks, animals, avalanches that I gotta deal with. And it's like I get to the summit, or what feels like the top. Oh shit, look. I look out, look, oh my God, I did it. And then boom, I get hit with but then boom, I slip on a rock that I didn't see. And I just tumble all the way back down to the bottom of the mountain. I was still at the top of the mountain, just wasn't very long compared to everybody else. It's kind of like how professional athletes will have career-ending injuries, but you still see them coaching or training other people that also are aspiring to be professional athletes or just high-level competitors in general. Because that their body can no longer support that. It's not that their mind went away. They know what it takes to get to the top because they were at the top, even if it wasn't for very long. Circumstances that was out of their control. I kind of look at my life the same way as that coach. I've been in those rooms. I've had those opportunities. I've reached the end. But they just don't stick due to circumstances that are out of my control. I'm not going to continue to try and reclimb that track knowing damn well I'm going to slip again. Because that's just how my life goes, man. It's like my life is filled with moments where I've just been edged. Low graphic, sorry. But it's like life has been nothing but me getting edged, and I'm sick of it. So the life that I've always imagined for myself maybe is nothing more than an imagination. But that doesn't mean that I don't have the experience and the wisdom to help someone else that's trying to reach the same levels that I am/was trying to achieve. I know what it takes to get there because I was there. I'm just not there anymore. So it's like I think I just started living through other people. I think that's why I get so riled up when people come to me for advice and they don't listen to me. It's because I see something that I guess they don't see, or they don't realize I don't want to call it severity because that makes it sound bad. Magnitude. I don't think they realize the magnitude of impact, the amount of stride they can make in terms of progress towards something if they just did what I told them to do. But they slip up and they fuck up, they do things they shouldn't do, and they themselves stall their own progress. And then I guess my anger comes from the fact that if I was in that position, I would not fuck that up. I would not fuck that up. Like there's this guy I used to be friends with. He's my best friend at one point. We grew up together. And looking back, he never supported me the way that I supported him. And we had both had very fucked up circumstances. Like we both grew up very similar. But his family members tried everything in their power to make sure that this homie plays college basketball. They did everything in their power to make sure he plays college ball. Put him in the best schools, got him on the best travel teams. And he wasn't a bad player. He could have definitely played college ball. But what held him back was his work ethic and his ego. And I used to tell him this to his face all the time. This guy played varsity basketball, soon as he stepped foot in a high school gym. Played EYBL travel. He 100% had everything in front of him to make that push to play college ball. He's not playing college ball right now because of his own decisions. Again, lack of work ethic and ego. I used to tell him that I would kill to be in his position. That I wish my family gave a fuck about my dreams the way that his families cared about his. Sure, a lot of them were not great people, but damn it, at least they put you in the best position that they possibly could to help you succeed. You didn't take advantage of that. And I'll be honest, I don't think he was a better basketball player than me. The last time I played basketball with him, I was a sophomore in high school, or we were sophomores in high school. And again, he just had this crazy ego to him. And I remember growing up, I used to talk about my basketball goals and stuff too, and he would always just minimize it. Like looking back, he was a hating ass motherfucker looking back. I played him 1v1. And he was like taking that shit serious. Felt like he had a point to prove to me or something. I was high as shit at the time. Out of shape. At this point, I had stopped playing basketball competitively because I couldn't manage it with all my other things going on in my life. But we ran the ones. And he only beat me by 1 or 2 points. He won 11-10 or 11-9. Which, keep in mind, this is a starting varsity basketball player since freshman year, travel teams. He eats, sleeps, shits basketball, gloats about playing basketball, whatever it is. This was his identity. I'd been out the game for some time. He wanted to talk shit. We ran the ones, and I almost beat him. And I looked at him, and this is the last time we ever spoke about this basketball shit. I looked at him, I said, bro, I swear to God, if I was in your position, I'm going to play college ball. And I would not have almost lost to a fucking druggie while he's high. That's the last thing I told him. Safe to say now he does not play college ball. I don't even know what the fuck he's doing anymore. I also don't really give a shit. But growing up, watching him used to piss me off a lot. Because I'm like, yo, you have everything in front of you to make this push. You're just not doing it. You're getting comfortable. You're getting very complacent. And it's like, despite the circumstances, you had the full-on opportunity to be one of the guys that made it out from our circumstances. And you folded with no pressure. And it's like, I worked my ass off. I don't think there's anybody that I know that works harder than me. And opportunities are coming their way, but not mine. And this is just the story of my life. It is the story of my fucking life. And it has genuinely showed its rear ugly head in every single part of my life. Athletics, academics, career, and now also content. And I just kind of am fed up with all this effort genuinely going to waste. And I don't really know what to do anymore. I don't really know what else I can say, what else I can do, what other prayers I can make that changes the situation. Because I feel like even if I do it, shit's not going to change. Shit is not going to change. I'm going to be stuck where I'm at. And eventually something will happen, but it's nowhere near the magnitude of what I believe I deserve due to my circumstances, my effort, blah, blah, blah. That I'm just going to be some average Joe. And that scares me. But I feel like there's no running away from that reality. That is, damn, bro. My mom has these plants all throughout the crib, and they just attract so many damn flies, bro. Oh my God. Anyways. I don't remember what I was saying. I don't know if this video comes off as self-pity. It's not what I'm aiming to do. I am mainly just spitballing. Exposure therapy, I think is what I called it. I just feel like a lot of areas of my life have not gotten better. That I've tried so hard to make better, but just nothing happens. And I'm done trying to overextend or overly exert myself in trying to make it happen. Because these things are just, quote unquote, not meant for me. They're not written for me. Who fucking knows what's written for me at this point? All I know is that the life that I'm imagining for myself isn't it. And I don't want to admit that. I don't want to accept that. But I feel like life has just done nothing but just show me that, hey, buddy, it's time to settle down. It's time to chill the fuck out. So that's what I'm gonna try my best to do. And I feel like one of the reasons why I want these things to work out to the level that I speak about is because I feel like my worth and my value as a human being is attached to this. I feel like my worth as an individual, but especially as a man, is attached to tangible things I can provide. A salary, a job, a certain lifestyle, etc. That I am not valuable to anyone unless I bring these things to the table. And this idea has only been reinforced throughout my life. It's only been reinforced. And I feel like a lot of the people that it's like, oh no, you are so much more worth than whatever it is. I've tried really hard to internalize that, but I just have no data to go off of to internalize that. And it's funny because I had this conversation with my mother because I was telling her about some girl that I really, really liked. And I was like, I really want this to work. She seems like maybe she'd be down to ride. Yeah, that shit didn't work out. And I told my mother, I see all these people my age, maybe a little bit older. But let's say age range 21 to 25. Settling down, getting married, traveling the world with their partners. They got their dream job, living in the dream city, living that lifestyle. Then you have me. Behind. Objectively behind. Constantly playing catch up, and even when I do finally catch up, I'm just for me to look back up and they're already ahead by half a mile. Like I was systemically set up to be at this disadvantage, and it's not something I can overcome. My mother looks at me and she goes that all these people that you're comparing yourself to did not grow up in the life that you had. They all come from good families, stable families, where money and all these other material things are not a worry for the children, are not a worry for the family. Is the family happy? That's besides the point. You never know. But the stability, a foundation is there that now the people my age can have more capacity to do X, Y, Z, that then allows them to reach the things that you're trying to reach. But the difference is that you don't have that stability. You don't have that foundation. You have to build it for yourself. It sucks. It's unfortunate. I wish it could be different, but that's the cards you were dealt, and you have to figure it out. But the second that everything is, but the moment that foundation dries up, the moment that foundation is laid, you will have every opportunity at your fingertips. That is my mother's belief. That is something that she tells me very, very frequently. But it just reinforced that whole idea that, hey, there's just shit that I have to myself, tangible things I have to myself to be seen as valuable, to be seen as worthy. So it's like all those shit, I think my mom's 100% on the money with that, I'm not gonna lie. It's very rare that my mom is wrong when it comes to shit like this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't tell her I said that. But it just goes back to show that my value as an individual is conditional. It's based off tangible things. It's the only one that really loves me unconditionally is my mother. I could be the biggest bum on this fucking planet Earth and she'd still love me. But even then, I push the right button, she'd cut my ass off too, right? So it's like, there's no such thing as that. And like I said, this video is exposure therapy. Just putting this shit out. One, just to have something to put out. And two, for exposure therapy. But I know there's gonna be people watching this that also resonate with some of this stuff, or maybe all the stuff that I've said. And I'd be interested to hear the other perspectives. But all I know is that I am exhausted. I am tired. I'm drained. I'm burnt out. And I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. And there's no relief on the way. None. None. So I really need to learn how to pace myself. Damn. Heavy. This is a heavy video. I already know this is a heavy video. Fuck it. I think that's all I got. I don't think there's anything else that I really want to say. I'm trying to think. I don't think there is. I think I touched everything that I want to touch on. Yeah. Well, this wraps it up then. Good talk, chat. Hopefully the mic was working this entire time. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys eventually. Take care.